Hey, Kevin here, Top 100 Financial Advisor and best-selling author, and we are here to talk about the stock market. Want to give you a quick update on the infrastructure bill and how that money is spent. I think in a few videos, I talked bits and pieces about where the money is being spent. I want to get a little bit deeper and kind of give you line by line, not all the lines, like thousands of pages, but line by line, which industries are getting money, and this might help you to inform or might help inform you on which investments to choose in the infrastructure space. Now, I've already told y'all I did the breakdown between PAVE, I think IFA, and a different ETF. I went ahead and did a small trade for PAVE. That one's so far paying off right now, but I wanted to give you more detail. I might be making some more moves. I'll let you know when those moves are made, but I want to give you a timeline and breakdown. So number one, we know it's already passed the Senate. It's in the House, and it is not expected to pass until October. This is from CNBC. So I think there is still some time. If you were going to get into an infrastructure stock, and we think that this is going to pass the $1 trillion version, we'll see what happens with the $3 trillion version. But right now, it is expected to pass in October. I think that gives you, what is it? It's almost September now. It probably is September by the time y'all are watching this, because the last day of August I'm recording. So there you go. So you got September, and then if it passes, and when it passes in October, you got about a month and maybe some change to get in while we assume it is cheap, while we assume it's going to continue to grow. So just throwing out there, there's no guarantee that it's going to pass. There's no guarantee that whatever investment that you choose is going to grow. But I'll go through it. All right, so what we know right now is the legislation includes about $550 billion of new federal spending. The rest of it, I believe, was 450 billion comes from money that we have not spent in other areas. All right, so the biggest chunk of this, 110 billion, is roads and bridges. Then you've got passenger freight and rail at 66 billion. Public transit, which I lived in New York City for a while, we need it, is 39 billion. Then you got airports at 25 billion. These are all in billions for the most part. You got ports at 17, road safety at 11. Then you've got electric vehicle and chargers. That's something that's really important, because 7 billion across Tesla, GM, Ford, and whatever, Toyota, and whatever other companies are going to kind of try and get some of that money is not as much as we think it is. So I like putting that into context and letting you know, yes, this could affect Tesla, but it's only 7.5 billion, and clearly it's not going all there. So again, that's electric vehicle charging stations. So remember, it's not directly to the cars, for the charging stations, which are they manufactured by those companies? Maybe, maybe not. But if you have more charging stations, people might be more likely to buy those cars, which could help could help those companies grow. Also remember, this is a multi-generational bill. If this passes, it's not going to push $1 billion out overnight. It's over several years. So again, 7 billion spread out over 10 years for one company, or really for 3 or 4 or 5 companies, ain't a whole lot of money. So just keep that in mind as you're thinking about this moving forward. Then you've got electric vehicle chargers, 7.5. You got clean energy and ferries at 7.5, and you got reconnecting communities. I'm not sure what that means, but that's only at $1 billion. Apparently that's not valued. All right, so then you've got utilities. You got the utility section. High-speed internet, $65 billion. That is the third highest of all of these. So they broke this out between transportation and utilities. So utilities, $65 billion. I think that's pretty important. Power infrastructure, $65 billion. Clean drinking water, $55 billion. And then protection against climate change, $50 billion. Then the last section is environment. You got environmental remediation, and then you got pollution in parentheses for $21 billion. So I'm not going to reread the entire list. You can rewind, or you can get this at CNBC. So that's the breakdown. So obviously the biggest, roads and bridges. You've got other large sections at 60 billion or more at passenger, rail, high-speed internet, power infrastructure, clean energy, and climate control protection. That's at 50 billion. So that breaks down where the money is expected to go. Again, it does have to pass. Hopefully we'll hear about this passing in October. This does give you an opportunity to take that list and see which companies are invested in those areas and which are most likely to grow over the near term and long term. Remember, again, though, this is spread out over several years. So if I am looking, one of the things you can do is do what I did And consider one of these infrastructure ETFs where you don't have to really go and dig through and see which passenger rail companies are the best, which companies are best for roads and bridges. I mean, you can look, right? But I can get ETF and it's likely going to have that in there. So that's one way. The other way, I've mentioned these videos in the past, so I'm not going to retread all of those stocks. I did a ton of videos on infrastructure because it had been such a big thing in the news. So feel free to go back and check those videos and decide which one of those could be best for you. John Deere is the one that I do own in that section. I'm holding that for a while. I don't plan on doing anything with it until December. We'll see what if it passes in December or what happens. I'll make my decision then. But that's the one I own. I do own PAVE. I don't plan on being in PAVE for forever. I'm waiting on my price target to be hit, and your boy's gonna be out of that thing. So that's what I think, or actually that's what I know. That's what the news reported is in the bill. But in terms of what you want to do as an investor, you want to take the time to dig in and see what makes the most sense. I've been talking about this since March. Okay, so if you were to ask me what time should I get in or what price should I get in, March is the time and price you should have got in. Yes, March is a price. You should have got in back then because it's much lower then than what it is now. And again, because I did a video on this yesterday, I know, we all know now that on average, the market every 19 days or so is going to hit a new all-time high. So right now would be that time to make that move, because once assuming it passes, once it hits October, all that stuff is priced in if it's not already. So now would be the time. You just got to make a decision on what you're looking into. I like John Deere. I'm investing in John Deere. I like PAVE. I'm investing in PAVE. United Rentals, URI is another good place. And then you can check all the other videos I've done. Hit the search bar under my videos. Hit infrastructure. You're going to see a few videos there. All right, that's it for me. Talk to you guys later.